Hi everyone. Today we are going to learn about function oriented programming and object oriented programming. Two main approaches in software development. Okay. So programming is all about writing instructions for computers, but the way we organize these instructions can be very different. Okay. That's why we have all these two approaches. Okay. First one is function oriented programming, FOP. Definition: function oriented programming focuses on functions or procedures as the primary building blocks of a program. Concept: the program is divided into set of functions that operate on data. Key points: emphasizes tasks or functions. Data and functions are separate. Data is passed to function as arguments. Often called procedural programming, works well for small programs or simple tasks. Okay, example in a banking system: deposit function for adding money, withdraw function for removing money, check balance function to display money. Okay, here each function operates independently on data. See, let's talk about function oriented programming. Okay, meaning is the main focus is on functions or procedures. These are small blocks of code that perform specific task. Okay, and how it works: data is separate from functions and you pass the data to function as a arguments. Okay, and key idea is the program is divided into a set of functions, each performing a specific task. Okay, so example is, think of a banking system. See, example is a banking system. First one is deposit, function to add money, then withdraw, function to take out the money, then check balance, function to see the balance. Okay, so here each function works independently on the data. FOP is simple and works well for small programs or simple tasks. Okay, then object oriented programming, OOP. Definition: object oriented programming focuses on objects, which are instances of classes containing both data and functions. Concept: combines data attributes and functions methods into objects, modeling real world entities. Key points: emphasizes objects and classes rather than functions alone. Follows four main principles. Encapsulation: data and methods are bundled together. Abstraction: only essential details are shown. Inheritance: objects can inherit properties from the other objects. Polymorphism: same method can behave differently for different objects. Works well for large and complex programs. Okay. Then example in the same banking system: account class with attributes like balance, account number, methods like deposit, withdraw, check balance inside the class. Okay, each customer has an account object, so here data and functions are together inside the object, making it more structured and easier to manage. Okay, see, second is object oriented programming, OOP. Okay, meaning is in OOP the main focus is on objects, which are combination of data and functions. Okay, and how it works: data and methods are together in an object, which models a real world entity. Okay, so key idea is like OOP is all about objects and classes, and it follows four main principles. Okay, first one is encapsulation, keeping data and methods together. Okay, simple. Second is abstraction, showing only the necessary details. Third one is inheritance, one object can get properties of another. Okay, now Polymorphism. Same method can behave differently for different objects. Okay, an example is like in the banking system, first one is account class with attributes like balance and account number, methods like deposit, withdraw and check balance inside the class, and each customer has an account object. Okay, so here the data and functions are together inside the object, which makes it more organized and easier to manage, especially for like large and complex systems. Okay, so here is comparison table, function oriented versus object oriented. Okay, first one is feature focus, function oriented functions or procedures, then object oriented objects, data plus methods, then feature, data handling, then function oriented, data is separate and passed to functions, then object oriented, data is encapsulated within objects, then approach, task based, procedural, then object oriented, real world entity based, feature, reusability, function oriented, less reusable, object oriented, highly reusable through classes and inheritance. Okay, feature, complexity handling, in function oriented works better for small simple programs, object oriented works better for large complex systems. Feature example, function oriented deposit, withdraw, check balance functions. Okay, object oriented account class with methods deposit, withdraw, check balance. Okay, see, comparison. First one is focus, function oriented functions. Okay, object oriented objects, data plus methods. Okay, and next is data handling, function oriented data is separate, object oriented data is inside objects. Approach, function oriented task based, object oriented real world entity based. Simple. Reusability, function oriented less reusable, object oriented highly reusable through classes and inheritance. Okay, then complexity handling, function oriented good for small simple programs, object oriented good for large complex systems. Okay, simple. Then now example, function oriented deposit, withdraw, check balance functions, object oriented account class with these methods. Okay, so two key points to remember, function oriented programming focuses on task while OOP focuses on real world objects. OOP provides better structure, reusability, maintainability, especially for complex software. Function oriented is simpler for small programs, but OOP is preferred for modern software development. See, so like function oriented programming focuses on tasks or functions. Okay, it is simple and works well for small programs. And other hand, object oriented programming focuses on real world objects combining data and methods. It is more structured, reusable and suitable for large complex programs. Okay, so both approaches are important, but modern software development mostly uses object oriented programming because it is easier to maintain and scale. Okay, thank you.